Notational analysis is used to gather information about an athlete and their performance, and can be used to understand the techniques and movements of the athlete to enable coaches to assess their performance properly and effectively. The athlete's movements that are noted down can be used in software which will give the analyst a more visual representative on the player. How it is used. It is used to evaluate the performance on an athlete, as it will assess their performance and their strengths and weaknesses during a match or in training, so then the right information can be brought to the player for them to enhance their skills. It is used for feedback on the players to give them evidence of what they need to do and why it will then help them to succeed further within their team matches and in their training. The strengths and weaknesses. The strengths of this would be that it gives data to the athlete that is objective to what they are doing in training and in matches to help them, and will exclude the performances that may be biased towards the athlete. Coaches can get a representation of their players and what their actions are, as well as the tactics and the team the team will use to defending the matches and how to improve on them for upcoming games. Another strength would be that it is customizable and supposed to be for any sport, no matter the sport's needs, which will make it easier for all sports and disciplines. The weaknesses of this would be that it will take a lot of time to do with getting the information for the players and analysing the information that they have got, which will be harder for big games where they will need the live events and will need the analysts there and then. It is also dependent on technology, and if there is technology problems where the technology is low on battery or there isn't tools needed to complete the analysis, then it will be a problem to complete it. The ease of use. It is quite easy to use and also made to be user-friendly, meaning that it is usually easy to put the data from the athletes into the software and doesn't require the extent of the more technical skills to input a report. The setup for the analysis would require the basic knowledge of it and the experience, but once you know the basic knowledge of the analysis, it is simple to use. Its tools in the software can make it easier to see a flow of the athlete's abilities. Validity and reliability. Validity is the measurement of how well the analysis measures what is intended to do. Notation analysis would measure the performance of a player and be easy to analyse the player's skill set that is relevant to the sport they are playing. If the relevant data for the player is wrong, then this will show that the analysis is not valid for the sport that you are implementing. Reliability. If the analysis over a period of time is consistent with what the player is doing, and if the results come back near enough the same, which would prove that it's consistent. However, there are factors that could affect the outcome of the consistency, which would be the analyst's experience of the technology and how long the analyst has been doing the technology with the same athlete. The technology used. The technology used are usually GPS devices, as these will give the extra data that the analyst will need to keep in track of the athlete's physical health whilst in training and in matches. Other technology used would be data collections like the software apps, and that will be able to give data in real time, which would be handy for in matches when they need the data to be collected more or less straight away with the analysis with it. The cloud-based technology will be used to make sure that the analysis can be shared to other users, which would implement the ease of the data being viewed to the different technology.